Welcome back to the Dinar Daily, where we bring you the truth behind every headline and uncover what's really happening in the world of currency and finance. Tonight's story is one that's shaking the entire dinar community. Breaking proof has just surfaced, revealing billions, yes, billions, of Iraqi dinars discovered across the United States and Europe. For years, people have whispered about hidden reserves, secret stockpiles, and private holdings of the Iraqi dinar. But in 2025, those whispers have turned into hard evidence, and it's forcing everyone, from investors to government officials, to take a closer look at what's really going on. Reports are now confirming that enormous amounts of Iraqi dinars are being held quietly in private vaults, bank deposit boxes, and investment portfolios across Western nations. The scale of it all is staggering. Some experts are calling it one of the largest private currency holdings ever recorded outside a nation's borders. What's even more astonishing is that Iraq's own central bank appears to have been aware of this situation for years, quietly monitoring it from behind the scenes. This isn't rumor anymore. This is documented economic reality unfolding right now. So what exactly does this new proof show? Financial insiders are saying that the total amount of Iraqi dinar held outside Iraq may actually surpass the amount still circulating inside the country itself. Think about that. More of Iraq's money is sitting in foreign hands than in its own economy. That imbalance didn't happen overnight. It's been building for nearly 2 decades, tracing back to the post-war period when speculation around Iraq's economic recovery was at its peak. Many of these offshore dinars are believed to be in the hands of private citizens who bought them after the Iraq War, hoping their value would one day skyrocket. Others are held by small investment firms, collectors, and even financial institutions that saw Iraq's rebuilding as a potential gold mine. But the most significant revelation is that Iraq's central bank has been tracking this imbalance as an emerging concern, one that could soon force them to act. To understand how all these dinars ended up in Western hands, we have to go back to the early 2000s. After the fall of Saddam Hussein, Iraq's economy was in total reconstruction. The country's currency went through multiple redesigns and reissues, and during that time, soldiers, contractors, and aid workers began buying dinars at low rates, thinking they might be worth much more in the future. Those early investments sparked a global wave of interest, spreading rapidly through online forums and investment groups. Soon, dealers across the US, Canada, and Europe were importing millions of dinar notes for eager buyers. Warehouses filled up, transactions boomed, and what started as a niche speculation quickly turned into a worldwide frenzy. By the time the hype cooled down, billions of dinars had already been moved overseas. It wasn't a scam, it was speculation rooted in genuine hope for Iraq's recovery. But here's where things take an unexpected twist. The latest documents show that Iraq's financial authorities have long been aware of this offshore dinar buildup and the challenges it brings. When so much of your currency exists outside your borders, it complicates everything: money supply, inflation, and overall economic planning. For Iraq, managing its financial system under those conditions has been like steering a ship without knowing how much weight it's carrying. Over the years, Iraq printed vast amounts of dinar, some during Saddam's era, others during transitional governments, and again in rebuilding phases. This led to a surplus of currency beyond what the economy could handle. Those extra notes became the foundation for both domestic hoarding and international speculation. Now, with newly surfaced data, Iraq's central bank is working to determine just how many of these notes exist worldwide. Experts estimate the total could reach tens of trillions of dinars, an astonishing figure that adds even more pressure to Iraq's monetary planners. So, what can Iraq do next? Some analysts believe the country may be preparing for a redenomination, a plan to issue new dinars and exchange the old ones at a fixed ratio. It's a strategy used by other nations to regain control of their money supply. For example, one new dinar could replace 10,000 old ones, simplifying transactions and helping the central bank regain authority over inflation and circulation. But this move would have massive implications for foreign holders, especially those holding large quantities of the old notes. Another theory gaining attention is a gradual revaluation. Instead of creating new currency, Iraq could slowly increase the dinar's value over time, allowing the economy to adjust naturally and avoiding shocks. This approach would be more cautious but potentially more sustainable. It would allow Iraq to rebuild confidence in its financial institutions while strengthening its currency step by step. However, there's a big catch. Iraq can't make these moves alone. Because so much of its currency exists abroad, any major reform would require cooperation from international banks and regulators. How would foreign-held dinars be verified? How would counterfeits be detected? Would Western banks participate in exchanges? These are real questions being quietly debated behind closed doors in Baghdad and beyond. This complexity explains why timelines remain uncertain. While rumors of an imminent RV circulate online every few months, officials inside Iraq have made it clear that there's no confirmed timeline or approved plan for revaluation or redenomination, at least not yet. What they do confirm is that reform is coming, but only when Iraq's banking systems and economic foundations are ready. And make no mistake, progress is being made. Iraq's financial indicators are slowly improving. Foreign reserves are growing, inflation is relatively stable, and investment in energy and infrastructure is picking up. These are signs of genuine recovery. But for Iraq, stability comes first. Any misstep could destabilize both its domestic economy and global markets connected to it. Interestingly, new reports show that Iraq's economic advisors have been studying how other nations handled similar currency crises. Germany after reunification, Eastern European nations after the fall of the Soviet Union, even South American economies that tackled hyperinflation, all of these examples are being reviewed for lessons. Iraq's planners are determined to avoid the mistakes others made and implement reforms carefully. Despite the challenges, Iraq today is in a stronger position than it has been in decades. Oil revenues remain robust, trade is expanding, and international partnerships are growing. Yet corruption, political friction, and uneven access to modern banking remain real issues. These are the roadblocks that must be overcome before Iraq can safely move forward with any sweeping currency reform. Meanwhile, misinformation online continues to stir excitement and confusion. Some claim to have inside knowledge or secret exchange rates, but the reality is simple. No one knows exactly when or how Iraq will act. Even top officials inside the central bank have said so directly. Until official announcements are made, any talk of guaranteed outcomes is pure speculation. Still, the fact that real verified data now exists, showing the scale of global dinar holdings, changes everything. This is no longer just a conspiracy or investor rumor, it's a measurable, documented economic situation. The world now knows that billions of Iraqi dinars are being held abroad, and that knowledge alone reshapes how governments and investors view the currency's potential future. For ordinary dinar holders, this revelation brings both hope and caution. It's proof that the dinar's story is real, not just internet hype, but it's also a reminder that this is a long-term play, not a get-rich-quick scheme. Experts consistently advise that anyone investing in dinars should only do so with money they can afford to lose. There's also a political side to all this. Iraq's leaders understand that solving the dinar issue could boost national confidence and attract new investment, but they also know that one wrong move could trigger panic or unrest, especially since many Iraqi citizens keep their cash at home rather than in banks. Protecting those citizens while balancing foreign interests is a delicate mission. Internationally, regulators are now taking note. The discovery of billions of dinars in private Western holdings raises questions about future cooperation. Will banks in the US or Europe help manage any potential exchanges? Could new anti-counterfeiting systems be introduced? These conversations are only just beginning, but they highlight how globally significant Iraq's next steps could be. At the end of the day, here's what truly matters. The Iraqi dinar story is entering a new phase, one grounded in verified facts, not rumors. Billions abroad, policy reviews underway, and a nation quietly preparing for reform. No one knows exactly how it will play out, but what's clear is that this story is far from over. So, stay alert and stay informed. The dinar's next chapter will shape not only Iraq's financial future, but could also send ripples across global markets. We'll be tracking every credible update and breaking it down for you as it happens. If you want facts, not fiction, clarity, not confusion, make sure to subscribe to the Dinarr Daily and turn on notifications. This story is still unfolding, and we'll be here every step of the way, bringing you the truth behind the headlines. Until next time, stay smart, stay patient, and remember, information is your greatest investment.